Hey teachers, Brother Judd here, and I've got some help for your lesson here out of Joseph Smith History in Doctrine and Covenants, section 13. Now, I don't know how your pacing guide is structured, but a lot of you have this planned for Monday, which is President's Day, and you may not be teaching seminary on that day. So I've got a couple of tips for how you can slide some of this material in with another lesson, as well as how you might introduce it in such a way that will help your sleepy students wake up and be interested in what it is that we'll be talking about. So first of all, first thing I'll give you is if you're not teaching class on President's Day, you don't want to miss this material. And fortunately for us, here at the very end of the lesson, there are some very handy videos that can at least communicate the information of the Priesthood Restoration. So there's this video, Restoration of Priesthood Authority, and then two more videos here at the very end. One comes from the Days of Harmony video. It's just it's a couple minutes, and then from the Priesthood Restoration site video that they show there, also about 5 minutes long. So watch both of those, see if that helps you. If you can use kind of, make sure to teach about the Aaronic Priesthood Restoration. You can share that with your students and fold it into another lesson. If you're going to teach this lesson on its own, maybe move it to Tuesday or something, or fit it in elsewhere, then a recommendation on how to start the lesson. So the learning activity is, help students think about the restoration of the priesthood and why it matters to them. You might do this by showing some images and ask the questions such as the following. What do you know about the events depicted in these images, and how would your life be different without the Savior's priesthood authority? Okay, now it's the second question that I think we can pull a fun learning activity from. So like I usually do, I'm going to take something from the lesson manual here, and I'm just going to make it less risky and try to make it a little bit more fun. So what would be a similar question that we could ask? How would your life be different without the Savior's priesthood authority? Okay, so we're thinking about things that if they were gone, if we didn't have them, what would make life really difficult? Something that came to my mind was you could ask students, all right, guys, I want to have a competition here, and I want you to come up with, I want you to think of an invention that if we had to go through a day without this particular invention, what would it be? And let's see whose invention wins for being the most important. And so then you give students, 2 minutes. You can invite them to okay, I want you to draw your invention is a comic book character and he's going to fight the other comic book characters. That's a stupid idea, but you get what I mean? To invite your students to participate in something less risky that points in this same direction of, if you didn't have it, what would happen? That helps us realize the importance of something. If I was going to do this, I'd probably pick the wheel. If the invention of the wheel was gone, how our world would grind to a halt. We really need wheels. I could see picking electricity, or at least being able to harness electricity, very important. Maybe the printing press, super important. Anyway, you could have that discussion okay guys, or you could ask, all right, I want you to look in your backpack or in your pockets, and if you lost this one thing, what one thing, if you were to lose it today, would just wreck your day? A lot of them would probably pick their phone, and then you could talk about why it's so important. And then you dovetail that discussion into, all right, today we're talking about the restoration of the priesthood, and I want you to think about, how would your life be different without the Savior's priesthood authority? What difference would that make? And then you're off and running, okay? I hope you see the connection between that first silly activity about inventions and this one about introducing this concept of priesthood authority and what would life be like without it. And then, as you're so good at doing, go through and teach the principles as found in the rest of the lesson. Now, there is a suggested learning activity here to memorize, part of Doctrine and Covenants section 13, that is about the Aaronic priesthood and the keys of the Aaronic priesthood, ministering and angels and stuff like that. And so, lots of learning activities to help with memorization. I'm sure a lot of you already know this, but if you don't, one of my friends, Brother Lambertson in Champaign, Illinois, he runs seminaryhelps.com, And if you're looking for doctrinal mastery activities to help with memorization and things like that, there are a lot of different things that you can try out. So I hope that was helpful. Again, I know with the Monday, this lesson falling on President's Day, you may not be teaching it on Monday. So I hope this training was helpful in either how to fold it into another lesson or to help you get it started and with an attention activity, so your students will be more awake and have a good experience with a lot of really great material. So thanks for watching this training, and I'll have another one for you next week. Until then, take care.